Lovely as a Tree stamp set. Happens to be one of my favorite stamp sets. It's been around for a while and it fits every season. You may have noticed that I did a fall card using this stamp set. I've done winter cards using the stamp set because, you know, when you stamp it on a dark color you get the snow. And now I want to do a Christmas card. So here's one that I had done last week. I hope you can see it. And it inspires the landscape card I'm going to do today, which is a little bit different but a lot more fun. So let's get started. I'm going to use confetti cardstock again. I've cut it in half at 4 1/4 and scored it at 5 1/2 so that it will fold and open this way. Okay? Why I like to do it this way sometimes is because in Christmas cards, sometimes you like to include a newsletter of what's been happening that year. The landscape gives you more of a surface to write on, so you literally could write all the way across. Okay, so let me move this extra piece away. I'm going to lay it down flat so that this side, which is the front of the card, is what I'm working on. So I'm going to use this stamp from the set, and I'm going to use 4 markers. I'm going to use Always Artichoke, Garden Green, Lucky Limeade, Sahara Sand, and Early Espresso or Chocolate Chip. Okay, so I'm going to start with Early Espresso, and I'm going to do the trunk of the trees and a little bit of their branches coming up. So trunk and the beginning of the branches coming up. Okay, then I'm going to go to the Garden Green, and I'm going to go around the edges of these trees. And I love coloring on stamps. You've seen me do this a ton of times, so you've probably got it memorized, the method. I'm just using the side of my marker and the thicker side of it. And I'm going to go to the Always Artichoke, do the left side of my trees with the Always Artichoke. And then I'm going to take the lighter color and do the rest, whatever is not already stamped. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my Always Artichoke and I'm going to bounce. So I'm just going to do this. So I don't have a better term for that. But I'm speckling in that area that was light green. Okay. And then the final thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to my Early Espresso and do a little bit of speckling as well. It's just a tap on the stamp. And then the last thing I'm going to do is take my Sahara Sand and do what's underneath the trees. Now I'm going to use a little bit of something different. This is actually not a Stampin' Up product, but it's something that I like to use sometimes. Many of you have it in your supplies, and that's Glimmer Mist. I'm going to use the Honeydew Glimmer Mist to dampen this stamp. Someone once complained that I took it away and they couldn't tell what I was doing, so I'm going to just get it away from my paper because I don't want anything else glimmered but this stamp. And then I'm just going to, I'm not going to shake hard, I'm just going to tap this a few times on its side to make sure that the bottom part is not gold, because that means it's in the mist. And then I'm going to just do a quick, at an angle, spray. Now notice when I went at an angle like that, it was a very light mist. So I want a light mist on this. I don't want it to be wet and I don't want it to be damp. I just want a light mist. And then I'm going to lay this onto my card base, attempting to stay as straight as possible. You could use a Stampin' Majig if you want to. Lift straight up. And look at that beautiful impression I got with all the different colors that we put in there. Now, normally I would stamp it with Cherry Cobbler, but today I'm going to stamp it with Real Red, which I think is going to be dark enough. What I like about this is it's nice and small. It's not too big. It's not going to distract from my lovely tree image. So you can see that you've got the Merry Christmas under the trees. Now we're not done. We're going to do a little bit of decorating of just one tree. So I'm going to take out my pearls. Now I don't have any craft ink with me today. I'm actually going to use Copic markers for this. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to color my pearls. So my Stampin' Up! Pearls. I'm going to color them with the markers. And because the Copic marker has an alcohol ink, it happens and it dries really quickly. So I'm going to do 3 of the small ones and 2 of the big ones. You see that? And then pick another color you like. And I had to do red because the red matches the stamped sentiment. And now I'm just going to take a blue that I like and color 3 blue. You can do that. So you can see that the Copic markers color them really well. So you can use both our Stampin' Up! Pearls and our Stampin' Up! Rhinestones and color them with the Copic markers. Now if you don't have Copic markers, what you'll have to do is Versamark these pearls so isolate them to one small piece of this paper, the ones you're going to use, Versamark them, and then ink them in craft ink and heat it. Being careful not to melt them, just heat them because you'll need the heat set. But the Copic markers happens really quickly and you don't have any problems waiting for it to dry. And so now I'm going to take these pearls and these colored pearls, and I'm going to scatter them around on this taller tree just because that tree looks like a pine tree to me. And I'm not pushing down yet, I'm just kind of getting the pearls onto the paper. Because they're small, can be a little challenging. But one thing I like to do is I like to include some white pearls. So I'll put a few of the white ones on the design as well. Christmas tree decorating. Definitely could do that. And basically that's the card. I think I would add one more red if I had time, but I think I've just run out of time. You see that I smudged over here. This is the original card without the blue. If you ever smudge like this, here's an easy solution. Take your X-Acto knife and just very gently scratch over the area that has a smudge. It's got to be very gentle. And then take a pencil eraser and erase here before your very eyes. The wonderful thing about the confetti paper is it makes that boo-boo disappear even better. So I hope you enjoyed this clean and simple card. I found it to be a lot of fun.